I'd like to say thank you. You handled both sides beautifully to meld them together, and I thank you for putting the puzzle pieces together so beautifully.
I think the most memorable thing now is sharing it with people. We had so much footage, like everything that the detectives gave us, and so much to go through, where we were like 6 months in a black hole, like just editing nonstop and just feeling like this is like the best part of our life. We're young and this is what we chose to do. Like, it was really hard and we all got a little burnt out. But I really believe that Father Rene helped us tell the story. There's so many times where I just felt like he was helping us. And the most amazing thing about screenings is the dialogue afterwards. And the first screening we had was in St. Augustine, Florida, which is the community that Father Rene was ministering. And both sides came. Stephen Murray's family, the murderer's family, came, and Father Rene's family flew down from New York, and also, the priest and everyone who loved Father Rene and his friends were there.
A feature-length documentary about a St. Augustine priest who was kidnapped and murdered by a man he was trying to help aired in its second screening in a local movie theater tonight.
These are our first two showings. We literally just finished the film yesterday morning.
Father Rene's sister was also in the audience tonight.
It was just wonderful for them to do this for my brother and to allow him to, other people to see what he was all about too.
Yesterday, we had not only the detectives and the sheriff's office here, but also Father Rene's friends and family. And we also had Stephen Murray's sisters who, had gone through a lot, and they're featured in the film as well.
I know my brother. My brother's not a monster.
Stephen Murray is accused of kidnapping Father Robert, forcing him to the trunk of a car, and then driving him from Florida to Georgia and murdering him.
The most beautiful thing after the screening was to see all of these people from these seemingly different sides hugging and talking to each other with so much love.
Stephen's sisters, I'll tell you, I could not thank them enough.
If you're inspired by the film, and I know a lot of you knew Father Rene, so if you feel like that message comes across, please spread the word.
So going into this project, we went in blind because we just heard the story and then we wanted to follow it. And so we actually went to St. Augustine, Florida, where the priest was from. And the sheriff and the bishop cleared their schedule for us, and we were like, whoa, this is a lot easier than we thought. But it was because the sheriff had been such good friends with Father Rene even before he was a priest. And then the bishop was speaking out at press conferences about this declaration of life.
Today happens to be the anniversary from the day that Father Rene Robert was murdered, which is a very sad thing, especially for his family and friends. But this movie is not a sad movie. It's a movie about love and a movie about mercy.
It was sad because Father Rene was murdered, but it was beautiful that he was talking to everybody, even after he died, with this letter, the Declaration of Life. His friends were speaking out for him and saying that he does not want this person to face the death penalty. And in the Declaration of Life, it says that all my family and friends have to stand for this. The Sheriff's Department actually gave us all the case files, everything.
The St. Johns County Sheriff's Office lent their SWAT team to us.
You're thinking maybe you're gonna have actors, they don't really know how to be SWAT-like, but we had the real SWAT team come out, and there was like 8 of them, and they were amazing to work with. And so we'll show little glimpses of it in the corner here.
Over my face. Thanks.
Learning more about the detectives' work and just being so inspired by them and how much they care about cold cases and like helping people find peace and resolution and everything. So we were so inspired by this whole journey.
As filmmakers, we're not used to being in front of the camera. To do our reenactments, we needed to find actors, and we did our casting call and found a great young actor named Eric Newcomb to play the role of Stephen. And then we found a guy out in Oregon, which is the exact opposite way from Florida, named Dick McMahon to play Father Rene. So Father Rene wasn't born with the name Father Rene or Rene at all. His original name was Richard Wayne, his first and middle name. And he later changed it when he became a priest. But the crazy thing is that when Dick came out, we learned that his name is also Richard Wayne, first and middle name. It turns out that Dick's wife's sister was a parishioner of Father Rene, and we feel like that was a really interesting connection.
I love my team. My co-director, Sean Bloomfield, Jesse from Michigan, who's really into true crime stories. So with all of our powers combined, we just started following this story, and we all got really into it. We were ourselves becoming detectives in it.
It's a case that I'm going to remember for the rest of my life.
We lost him.
Rene was a contradiction, half crazy, half saintly.
He didn't care if he were a prisoner. He reached out.
He wasn't thinking about his safety. He was thinking about doing God's work.
Every time Stephen called, Father Rene was there.
The ending of this may not be what we all hope and pray that it would be.
He made the comment to my dad that Father Rene was tied up.
If anybody really loves Father Rene, they'll forgive me because he was a man of God, and forgiveness is forgiveness.